Please, Patrick, step into my little cozy office. Woof. Oh.
Cozy's an understatement.
Yeah. How would you call this?
This is like deluxe.
Are you afraid of heights?
A bit, but this is doable. As long as it doesn't break.
Yeah.
It gives me like some Titanic, you know? It's fine.
We'll just keep watching this way. I have a little mimosa for you.
That will help.
As we're
Calm the nerves.
celebrating the new festival season.
Here we go.
Happy
Cheers.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Mm.
Lekker.
Lekker, hè?
What?
Is the new festival season something you look forward to?
Yes and no. Like it's a two-sided sword.
Okay.
Of course, festival season is always like very fun. You get to play during the day. You know, you have different office hours.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that opens the opportunity for having multiple shows on one weekend, and that is a drag. You know, of course, you have a lot of shows during the summer, and festival season is usually the busiest, of course, for every touring DJ in the world.
Yeah.
Especially August. I'm already like trying to shape up and like mentally prepare myself for that month. August was like 17 shows in like 10 days. I was like crawling at the end.
Like in a weekend where you have like 2 festival shows, maybe 3, and a couple of club shows, after parties.
Yeah.
There is a day that you wake up
And I want to die? Yes.
You don't feel like doing the going all in. So what do you do to?
It's often that way actually. Like so it's for me, it's hard to get out of bed and be motivated. It's not always there. But I have to say, every time I step into the booth and the second I press play, something in my head switches and it's like full on.
It's your nature, maybe.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've always been like this since a little kid. Put me on a stage and like. Ask my parents, they know.
Yeah, but are there certain ways that you can things you could do to get into that zone? Or
I mean, getting into that zone, like sometimes it gives me anxiety. I always dread the way and like the journey towards the show. I always love the show itself because it's usually fun and the energy is there, and it's like a reflection of the energy from the people that gets thrown back in my face. It's like a ping pong match, you know. Like you serve them out and
you're
they dish it
winning.
back.
You're winning.
I try. But yeah, it's really daunting, and you have to be in a very secure and focused mindset and state of mind to be doing it on a level like all these major headline DJs are touring in the summer. Otherwise, if you like go out for after parties and get fucked up and drink alcohol, and then that shit like is adding up, and you can only do it for so long until you like hit the wall.
It's like being an athlete.
True, and I've been an athlete, so I know exactly like how.
And what kind of?
I did martial arts for 14 years.
Sorry.
Careful. Yeah, so I mean, I did tournaments and stuff, so I'm aware that like being in peak physical form and shape is mandatory to deliver always. The level that I want to give to the people, you know.
I want to go to your job titles for a while.
Oh my god.
You're DJ, creative director, designer, illustrator, model, dancer, and influencer. Is there anything in your life that hasn't got anything to do with creativity? Or wait, I think this is a boring question. What's the most boring thing about you?
Okay, I don't know if it's boring, but I really enjoy gaming. I think I was a gamer back in my teens. I played competitive World of Warcraft. Like
really?
I was the full-on basement kid, like pale, like no friends, in my own little world. But I was really good. I got paid for it, you know. But that was like my little boring life. I love fantasy, like Final Fantasy. That was my introduction to role-playing games.
Still not boring.
No,
you were really good, and I was getting paid. Is there a crossword puzzles?
Bowling. I love bowling. Really?
But you're really good at bowling.
I have my own balls, so I
You,
guess.
you have your own balls. Which color are your bowling balls?
My bowling balls are orange and green
Really?
with a swirl.
And
Yeah.
do you also have like
I have a glove and shoes. Yeah.
This is also not boring.
It's like a big Lebowski moment. But that's something that I have in common with my dad. This is like our bonding thing since I was very little. I've been doing this with my dad specifically. But since I moved to Berlin, of course, it's becoming more difficult, and not all of my friends love it. Huh?
Is your dad still in the States?
No, my dad, my parents are still together. They live in Munich, close to Munich. But my dad was stationed in the army, so he was on like the designated Air Force base, basically, which was like 50 miles from us, and they have like the proper original American bowling lanes, you know,
really?
not that shit in Germany, like with the strings on the thing. No strings attached.
When you started out, like with the COVID streams in the living room, and from there going to
Here.
big shows, main stages.
Yeah.
It's gone really
Fast.
But do you have time to let it all sink in or think about what's next? Is there a plan?
No, I think that's a mental health issue that I am struggling with because it has been happening so fast, and I went from 0 to like 150 shows, and this industry is not something that you should embrace lightly, you know. There's like a lot of strings attached, and I really appreciate and I respect that there are so many other artists out there, other DJs who've been doing this for like years and still not on the same level, because it's a very competitive field. It can be very like elbows out, especially now everybody's fighting for the main slot, and you see it in DJ lineups as well. No one really respects an opening slot anymore. People don't even know what an opening slot is. I've been people
starting off running.
People doing a warm-up set and like starting with 145 BPM, and then you're just like, sure, of course, you know. Where do you go from there? So for me, I'm like still chasing my own success in some kind of way. I am lucky enough that I have like a really, really good support system of friends and my family who keep me grounded and give me the love when I need it, even though I'm a lot on the road. But we have regular Skype calls. When I see them, I'm trying to be as close to them as possible. So we instated a routine or like a new habit or like a ritual that we're gonna repeat now every year. So once a month, 1 month in the year, we're gonna rent a villa together. Last year was in Ibiza, and we're just gonna come all together. They can work remote, and we're just together, and we
You're in the
spend
clubs
time
all day. They're at home, you're in the club.
Yeah, on the weekends, yeah. But as long as they pick me up from the airport, it's fine, you know, with a glass of champagne and stuff. Like,
we're gonna chill out at the beach.
It worked well actually last year, really, really well. I got my education on the dance floor in Berghain and numerous other dance floors, so I think I have my PhD in like dance floor culture, and I know what works and I know what gets people riled up, and you know, it's also about storytelling in a set. That's something unfortunately a lot of these new upcoming DJs don't know about, because you need to have some sort of accumulated time on the dance floor to understand that. But at the same time, when I play the music that I love and that gets me going, I can't stand still. I have to move. You know, when I started going out, you didn't have this signature, I would say, TikTok dance that everybody's doing, and it's like very static and aggressive, and like it feels like people marching to war. And for me, I want my dance floors to be sexy, to be fluid, to be, you know, in the pelvis area. I want people to shake their ass. The best compliment that I can get is if someone in the dance floor or on the dance floor wants to like fully dry hump someone because they want to get down, and you know the beat is kicking, and you're like, okay. That's the main compliment that I can get from my DJ sets, because that's also the vibe that I'm trying to generate, and that has shifted. You know, it's been very aggressive nowadays, and I'm hoping that's why I'm also on the forefront of this new generation of interactive DJs who, if people don't know how to dance, have a look. This is how it could be, you know, like animate people.
This is changing my views now, because so actually you're showing people how to dance.
Dancing and movement is liberation is an art form of freedom, you know. It's also a language of communication. What does it tell you if someone is dancing like this for like 10 hours in front of you? Would you want to fuck that person?
No.
I would probably not.
How was the show today? Because I think you told me that it was one of the best shows you ever played in Holland.
I think it was the best show that I ever played in Holland.
Why?
And I had some really good shows already, but today was... I think I came in with very low expectations because I was really tired. This is like the last weekend of a 7-week tour. Me as an artist, of course, I think every DJ somehow, especially if you're in like a headline position or co-headlining, you get a bit nervous if the stage is not full when you get there. And it was like 50% there, and it's a huge ass venue, you know. And I was like, oh, fuck, it would have been nice if it was just full. Where are the people? I was like asking to artists, and I was like, where is everyone? You know, the weather when we arrived was nice. Like, they didn't get stuck somewhere. It's like, yeah, they come later. It's like, okay, whatever. So it was 20 minutes before my set, and was like hanging out, listening to her set, and prepared my setup. I was playing the first time on the new rotary mixer of Pioneer. It was just like, so that was already like a good goodie for me that this was like sorted. And then 5 minutes to my set, like as if 10 fucking buses outside of the venue just dropped a buttload of people, and it was like packed like this. And of course then the enthusiasm and the endorphins and everything kicks in, and when you start hitting that and when you start your set, and the first 2 minutes, and I always have like a very, you know, atmospheric or impressive or dramatic intro.
Such a dramatic guy.
It's always about that, you know. You set your set up the right way so people know exactly what they're in for. But tonight or today, I was in a different vibe because that mixer does something to me. Like, it's so sexy that I revert from playing like more of these edits and just dive in the beginning of more like deeper stuff and more underground and really bass heavy, but at the same time very it's just sexy. And so it was so much fun to have that build up in the beginning for the first 30 minutes and see that the crowd is really, you know,
horny.
That's what it was. They were horny. And then when you see that progression, how especially the last 45 minutes of my set,
orgasms.
Bitch, I had a couple. I'm not gonna lie. I have to change my underwear after that. But it was really like I had so much fun. The crowd was spot on, energetic, very responsive, smiling faces wherever you were looking for.
So now we're going from the biggest stage in the festival, and lots of people, orgasms.
Yes.
To the smallest room of the festival. I'm playing for like 60 people.
Cute.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I have a really sleazy, sexy house set prepared, and yeah, really, really down for it. I like that too. You know, the vibe is like very instant, very intimate.
Yeah, and intense maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how hot it's gonna get in there because I have several layers.
And
it is.
Nice, yeah.
So I have to take my shit off again.
No, yeah. We'll see. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, man.